Hello and welcome to Shanghai Eye. Monday through Friday on Dragon TV, we bring you stories to explore and decode China. Hi, Meng Ying.
Hi there, I'm He Jian. We will look at business, tech, urban life, arts and culture, and sports, and everything going on here in the city. China's 15th five-year plan places great emphasis on making the country self-sufficient in essential technologies. Timothy Pope continues our series explaining everything you need to know about one of China's defining policies.
Technological self-sufficiency was a huge part of the draft 15th five-year plan released in October at the end of the Communist Party's fourth plenum. If you read through that draft, you get the clear feel that the Chinese government isn't willing to wait around or waste any time making it happen. The text of the draft says the government will use extraordinary measures to strengthen innovation and research into strategic technologies. These strategic technologies are things like semiconductors, where Chinese companies are getting there but still can't quite match the world-leading firms from overseas. The trade war has made self-sufficiency in these areas a really pressing issue for the leaders in Beijing. They've had US governments repeatedly threaten or try to strangle access to high-level semiconductors. And this just sets in stone the sentiment that we've seen already from the government, particularly on chips. Because when Nvidia got the all clear to sell US chips to China, initially the government told companies not to buy them. What we don't know is what they mean by extraordinary measures that they're going to use to support strategic tech. There's quite a lot the government is already doing that worked really well during the 14th five-year plan. At the most basic level, that's stuff like funding research. But there's also been a huge drive in China to refocus the country's education system to a STEM focus. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's something that has been hugely successful, to a point where China now ranks second in the world on STEM education, behind only the United States. There's also been a lot of incentives put forward for private companies to invest more in research and development. There are some pretty big tax breaks that are currently available for these firms if they're focusing on the right stuff. At the moment, for some sectors, there is a 100% tax break on these sorts of investments. But this is even bigger than it sounds, because the government treats it as what's called a super deduction. That means when you spend 100 yuan on R&D, you can claim a 200 yuan tax deduction off your company's income. At the moment, the rate is as high as 120% for some sectors, and there are suggestions that the 15th five-year plan could see it raised to 200%. Another thing flagged in this draft plan is a shift in the role that the state plays in the industry. It talks about being a bridge between researchers, companies, and finance, taking the role of facilitating proper partnerships between all of these groups, rather than just trying to pick who's going to end up with the best product and supporting them. So while the government's intent to develop the tech sector remains unchanged, there is a change and definitely a big expansion in their efforts to get there.
This year, Atlas Copco Group established one of its largest manufacturing and R&D sites in the world in Wuxi. The Swedish company serves clients from the automotive to energy sectors in China and around the world. And placing this facility in Wuxi provides the company with insights into the local Chinese market. Atlas Copco has clearly stated that they're committed to continuously strengthening its R&D in China, focusing on scientific and technological innovation and sustained green transformation.
By the end of 2024, foreign investors had established over 1.24 million businesses in China, with utilized foreign capital reaching 20.6 trillion yuan. China has ranked among the world's best in terms of foreign capital inflows for several years.
China is one of the leaders in technology in many different industries and rapidly scaling into emerging markets. And for Atlas Copco, this is an opportunity.
Since the 1920s, Swedish company Atlas Copco Group has been deeply committed to the Chinese market. They officially opened its compressor technology site in Wuxi, a critical milestone in the expansion of its footprint in China.
The site is really structured and organized to support local for local design for our local customers, but also local for export, as we like to support our customers investing globally, and local for global, as Wuxi is exporting to more than 100 destinations.
In response to the 15th five-year plan, Allen stated that Atlas Copco will align its innovation capabilities with the demands of high-tech development while advancing green transformation in battery production and solar energy. This approach reflects the group's recognition of China's favorable policies and ambitious goals in energy transition.
15规划则更进一步提出高质量发展取得显著成效，高水平科技自立自强从取得进展升级为水平大幅度提高，强大国内市场从形成转为建设，对外高水平对外开放从实行深化为扩大。
The 15th five-year plan emphasizes the continuous creation of a first-class business environment characterized by market orientation, rule of law, and international standards. The year of 2025 marks the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between China and Sweden. The two nations have long been each other's largest trading partners in their respective regions. Over 10,000 Swedish companies engage in trade with China, while Chinese investment in Sweden saw an annual increase of 70% in 2024.
What does it take to create a winter wonderland in the heart of a metropolis? Well, in Shanghai, the answer involves a 6,500 square meter digital sky, nightly aurora simulations, and a non-stop schedule of performances. Zhang Yu experiences this ambitious urban festival firsthand.
Superman.
Think you need to travel for a proper winter wonderland? Well, think again. Shanghai just built one right in the middle of the city.
They've thought of everything for your winter mood. Perfect spots for the snowy photo, cozy installations that actually radiate warmth, and a market full of treats that taste like the season.
Look at these cute little cable cars.
自己也很喜欢去冬季，可能去滑滑雪什么的。可能最近工作很忙，就没办法去旅游请假嘛。然后刚好在这里拍拍照、出片，其实也发发朋友圈，也蛮多人会点赞。
This is not what I expected walking into a city center. Under this 6,500 square meter sky with the lights dancing above, it feels like I've stepped right into the aurora itself. It's an immersive urban dream, just a metro ride away.
For nearly a month, this place will run a busy schedule of performances. We're talking about 30 aurora light shows and over 40 roaming street performances that flip the switch from day to night.
I was surprised when I was passing, and I didn't expect they have a place like this. Have a lot of options for the guests, and I love it.
And this entire spectacle is rooted in history. This was once the heart of Shanghai's flower and antique trade. Now it's a living layer cake of old and new Shanghai.
We have worked with 4 different artists. They have a different illustration to tell people the story of Dongdai Road back to 60 years ago. Every year we will organize 4 to 6 different markets. 3 of them will be flower theme.
这边其实开了一些化妆品的柜台，也有一些带 SPA 的功能，我觉得是春节送人蛮好的一个选择。
But here's the best part. This is just one node in a larger circuit. Xintiandi is just around the corner and is throwing its own party with the Winter Wanderlust Market and 15 live performances, both creating a multi-sensory experiences right here.
It's a good mixture between European architecture, Chinese one, and also I really like now to see it with the lights during the night. People from Shanghai, very nice and very relaxed during the day, but also during the night.
Starting December 19th, an outdoor market on Madang Road features the top 50 wines of 2025 from southern France, authentic Portuguese tarts, German duck, and more than 40 local designer brands. It's a direct line to a European food and wine tour without a jet lag.
Feels like it's basically the New York of China. It's more impressive than New York I've been.
It actually connects every single corner of the world in here, because you can find the bakeries of kind of any country you want to, and at the same time there is Yuyuan Garden, where you can see just the cultural side.
The increase in traffic is close to 20% year to date. I see a lot of them queuing up for the tax refund. Sometimes the price of the goods is even cheaper than the home country.
The unspoken rule of Shanghai winter: never build just one attraction. The real luxury is having the next one already waiting around the corner.
Moving on to today's Shanghai A to Z section. As the city sparkles with winter lights, a season of frosty fun has arrived. No need to travel north. Authentic ice rinks, artificial snow experiences, and winter nightscapes can be found right here in the city. The Waterfront Carnival at the Westerbund Dream Center features a 1,500 square meter outdoor ice rink, special performances, and a winter market. There's also the Lujiazui L Plus Mall, which has transformed its sunken plaza into a snowy playground. Skating rinks can also be found at the Summit, next to Shanghai Museum East and the Bund Financial Center.
If you've got any questions for us, you can find us on all the socials and all the content online as well.
And please do join us here on Dragon TV, Monday to Friday.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.